Cyber Threat Brief for April 20th, 2026. Microsoft pushes emergency updates to stop Windows Server domain controllers from crashing in restart loops. Versal confirms breach after context. AI compromise exposed customer credentials. Zion Siphon malware targets Israeli water infrastructure, but fails due to buggy geolocation code. Here's the full breakdown of today's top security stories. Daily Security Brief, April 20, 2026. Next section, Critical Alerts. Microsoft releases emergency updates to fix Windows Server issues. Microsoft released out-of-band updates to address two critical issues affecting Windows Server systems after the April 2026 Patch Tuesday. Some servers with domain controller roles are entering restart loops due to LSAS crashes, and Windows Server 2025 devices are experiencing installation failures with KB 5,082,063. The LSAS issue affects authentication processing during early startup and impacts existing domain controllers and new setups. Additionally, some Windows Server 2025 devices boot into BitLocker recovery after installing KB 5,082,063. Action: deploy out-of-bounds updates immediately to prevent domain controller outages. KB 5,091,157, Server 2025, KB 5,091,571, 23H2, KB 5,091,575, Server 2022, KB 5,091,573, Server 2019, KB 5,091,572, Server 2016. Server 2025 update addresses both installation failure and LSAS restart issues. Other versions fix only LSAS crashes. Source: Bleeping Computer. Next section, Business and Infrastructure Threats. Versal breach tied to context. AI hack exposes limited customer credentials. Web infrastructure provider Versal disclosed a breach originating from a compromised employee account at Context AI, a third-party AI tool. The attacker leveraged this access to take over a Versal employee's Google Workspace account, gaining access to environment variables that were not marked as sensitive. Versal stores sensitive environment variables encrypted, but non-sensitive variables were accessible. A threat actor using the Shiny Hunter's persona claimed responsibility and is selling stolen data for $2 million. Hudson Rock identified that context. AI employee was infected with Llama Stealer in February 2026 after downloading Roblox game exploits. The malware harvested Google Workspace credentials and keys for Supabase, Datadog, and Authkit, including the support at Context.ai account. Action: if you're a Versal customer, check for compromise notifications and rotate all credentials immediately. Audit environment variables and mark all secrets as sensitive to ensure encryption at rest. Review activity logs for suspicious deployments. Check Google Workspace for OAuth application 110,671,459,871, -30F1, SBBU0, HPTBS 60CB, 4 VSMV 79I7 BBVQJ. Apps: Google user content, COM and revoke if present. This incident demonstrates supply chain escalation risk from third-party AI tools with broad OAuth permissions. Sources: The Hacker News, The Register, Bleeping Computer Security Week. Apple account change alerts abused to send phishing emails. Attackers are exploiting Apple's account notification system to send legitimate-looking phishing emails from Apple's own infrastructure. Threat actors create Apple ID and insert phishing messages into the first and last name fields, then trigger security alerts by modifying shipping information. These emails originate from AppleID at id.apple.com, pass SBF, DKIM, and DMARC checks, and include callback numbers for fake purchase scams. The phishing lure claims an $899 iPhone purchase via PayPal and pressures victims to call a scammer-controlled number. Action: educate users to verify account changes through official Apple channels, not links or phone numbers in emails. Flag emails with unusual sender names or unfamiliar iCloud addresses in the notification body. Apple has been notified but has not yet patched the feature abuse. Source: Bleeping Computer. Microsoft pulls service update causing Teams launch failures. Microsoft reverted a service update that caused Teams desktop client launch failures across a subset of users. Affected clients showed were having trouble loading your message error and remained stuck on the loading screen. The issue stemmed from a regression in the Teams client build caching system that caused older desktop builds to enter an unhealthy state. Microsoft flagged this as an incident, indicating critical service issues and significant user impact. Action: if users are experiencing Teams launch problems, instruct them to fully quit and restart the Teams client to allow the fix to propagate. This follows recent issues with Teams meeting add-in breaking classic Outlook and sign-in problems across Microsoft apps. Source: Bleeping Computer. NIST, the National Institute of Standards and Technology. To stop rating non-priority flaws due to volume, the National Institute of Standards and Technology will stop assigning severity scores to lower priority vulnerabilities due to rising submission volumes, which grew 263% recently. Starting April 15, NIST will only provide enrichment, severity ratings, product lists, analyses for CVE and CISA, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, SCEV Known Exploited Vulnerabilities Catalog affecting U.S. federal government software or involving critical software per Executive Order 14,028. NIST enriched 42,000 CVEs in 2025, but can no longer keep pace. All CVEs will still be listed in the NVD, but non-priority vulnerabilities will only have CNA-assigned severity ratings. Action: prioritize CIS, KEV vulnerabilities, and federal/critical software CVEs for immediate patching. For other CVEs, rely on vendor-provided severity ratings or request enrichment from NIST via NVD at nist.gov if high impact is suspected. Consider adopting EPSS, the Exploit Prediction Scoring System, to supplement CVSS, the Common Vulnerability Scoring System, scores for prioritization. Sources: Bleeping Computer Sans ISC. Fake wallet crypto stealers spreading through iOS apps in the App Store. Kaspersky identified over 20 phishing apps in the Apple App Store masquerading as popular crypto wallets including MetaMask, Ledger, Trust Wallet, Coinbase, Token Pocket, Token, and BitPay. The apps redirect users to browser pages, distributing Trojanized wallet versions designed to steal recovery phrases and private keys. The campaign leverages iOS provisioning profiles to install malware and has been active since at least fall 2025. The apps use type-squatting and fake promotional banners claiming official wallets are unavailable in the App Store. Kaspersky reported findings to Apple, and several malicious apps have been removed. Action: warn users to only download crypto wallet apps from official sources and verify app publishers before installation. Check for typos in app names and scrutinize promotional banners claiming apps are unavailable. If using crypto wallets on iOS, verify app authenticity through official wallet websites, not App Store search results alone. Source: SecureList Kaspersky. Half of the 6 million internet-facing FTP servers lack encryption. Security Week reports that approximately 3 million of the 6 million internet-facing FTP servers lack encryption, exposing organizations to man-in-the-middle attacks, credential theft, and data interception. The continued use of the 50-year-old FTP protocol without encryption, FTPS or SFTP, creates unnecessary risk for file transfers. Action: audit internet-facing FTP servers and migrate to SFTP or FTPS with mandatory encryption. Disable anonymous FTP access and enforce strong authentication. Consider replacing FTP entirely with modern secure file transfer solutions. Source: Security Week. Next section: Ransomware and Extortion. Hillen's 2024 attack on NHS vendor continues to impact patient care for One NHS Trust South London and Maudsley NHS Foundation Trust. SLAM remains impacted by the June 2024 Hillen ransomware attack on Synovis, with pathology systems still not restored as of April 2026. The trust operates in business continuity mode without electronic requesting or reporting, relying on paper processes and manual uploads. As of early January 2026, 161,560 pathology reports remain delayed for manual entry. Critical results are communicated by phone, with full reports delivered as paper or PDFs and manually uploaded into patient records. No pathology reports for SLAM patients are available in the London Care Record Shared System. Action: this demonstrates the long-term operational impact of ransomware attacks on healthcare infrastructure. Organizations should prioritize offline backups, disaster recovery testing, and business continuity plans that account for months-long recovery timelines. Healthcare-specific vendors represent high-value supply chain targets. Source: data breaches. Net. Next section: General Security News. Zion Siphon malware targets Israeli water desalination OT systems. Darktrace identified Zion Siphon, a new malware strain designed to target Israeli water treatment and desalination systems. The malware checks for Israeli IP ranges 2.52.0.0 and scans for OT-relevant services using Modbus, DNP3, and S7 COM protocols. It attempts to modify chlorine doses and pressure parameters in water management systems. The malware contains politically motivated strings supporting Iran, Palestine, and Yemen and threatens to poison Tel Aviv and Haifa populations. However, the current sample contains a bug in the IP geolocation function that causes it to self-delete even on Israeli networks, preventing activation. The sample appeared on VirusTotal on June 29, 2025, after the 12-day war between Iran and Israel. And 5 additional IP addresses in the show notes. Action: water utilities and critical infrastructure operators should ensure OT/ICS, industrial control systems. Equipment is not exposed to the internet, uses unique credentials, not defaults, and is segmented from IT networks. Monitor for reconnaissance activity scanning Modbus, DNP3, and S7 COM protocols. Although this sample is non-functional, it demonstrates adversary intent and reconnaissance of water infrastructure control systems. Sources: Risky Biz News, The Hacker News. AI vendors shrug off responsibility for vulnerability. Security researchers disclosed vulnerabilities in AI agents from Anthropic, Google, and Microsoft that integrate with GitHub Actions, allowing attackers to steal API, keys, and access tokens. All 3 vendors paid bug bounties: Anthropic $100, Google $1,337, GitHub $500, but did not assign CVEs or publish security advisories. Separately, researchers identified a design flaw in Anthropic's Model Context Protocol, MCP, affecting 200,000 servers, but Anthropic declined to patch the root issue, calling it expected behavior. The flaw impacts 150 million downloads across software packages using MCP, with 10 high and critical CVEs issued for individual tools. Action: if using AI agents or MCP-based tools in development environments, review GitHub Actions configurations for credential exposure risks. Audit OAuth permissions granted to AI tools and apply least privilege principles. The lack of CVEs and public advisories for AI security flaws means security teams must monitor vendor documentation and security research directly. Sources: The Register. Rode K1 LL implant. Node. JS-based reverse tunneling backdoor. Blackpoint Cyber identified Rode K1 LL, a Node. JS-based reverse tunneling implant that establishes outbound WebSocket connections to attacker infrastructure. Unlike traditional RETs, it carries no command set and requires no inbound listener. Its sole function is to convert a compromised machine into a controllable relay point for pivoting to internal systems and network segments unreachable from outside the perimeter. Action: monitor for outbound WebSocket connections to suspicious external infrastructure. Review egress firewall rules and inspect Node. JS processes on endpoints and servers for unexpected network activity. This implant demonstrates the trend toward lightweight, protocol-flexible backdoors designed for network pivoting. Source: The Hacker News. Versal discloses data breach following context. AI compromise. Multiple cryptocurrency platforms suffered significant breaches. Kelp DAO was hacked for $292 million, the largest crypto heist of 2026 so far, through exploitation of a withdrawal vulnerability. Refinance lost $18.4 million via vulnerabilities in its margin trading feature, with attackers preparing the attack days in advance by creating fake token pools. Source: Risky Biz News. Next section: Patch Priority. Windows Server all versions. Deploy emergency OOB updates to prevent domain controller restart loops and installation failures. KB 5,091,157, KB 5,091,571, KB 5,091,575, KB 5,091,573, KB 5,091,572. Versal environment variables. Rotate all non-sensitive environment variables and mark secrets as sensitive to enable encryption at rest. Internet-facing FTP servers. Migrate to SFTP/FTPS with mandatory encryption or replace with modern secure file transfer solutions. iOS crypto wallet apps. Remove unverified or type-squatted wallet apps. Reinstall only from official sources verified through wallet provider websites. OT/ICS water systems. Ensure systems are not internet exposed, using unique credentials and segmented from IT networks. Next section: Trends and Context. April 2026 continues the pattern of supply chain compromise driving major breaches, with the Versal incident demonstrating how third-party AI tools with broad OAuth permissions can become initial access vectors. The context: AI compromise via Llama Stealer, delivered through game exploit downloads, highlights the risk of employees using corporate credentials on untrusted software. Meanwhile, NIST's decision to stop enriching lower priority CVEs reflects the 263% growth in vulnerability submissions, forcing organizations to adopt probabilistic scoring, EPSS, alongside CVSS. The Zion Siphon malware, though non-functional, signals increasing adversary interest in OT/ICS sabotage targeting critical infrastructure, following the pattern established by Stuxnet and NotPetya. That concludes today's cyber threat brief. From Carolina Clear Tech. Stay patched, stay vigilant.